The year is 1973 and film-going audiences in India have become disillusioned. Their goody two-shoes leading men have become boring and repetitive. Some 2 decades after independence, the vices of corruption, social inequality and poverty are affecting the common man. People want someone who can stand up and fight against the system, at least in the fictional world of the movies. Enter a tall, lanky man with intense eyes, neatly parted hair, and a heavy baritone. He's playing the lead role of Inspector Vijay Khanna in the film Zanjeer. This film will give birth to the iconic image of the angry young man and catapult the actor Amitabh Bachchan to heights of superstardom never seen before. Hello and welcome to A Century of Stories brought to you by IDFC FIRST Bank, always you first. I'm your host Kunal Vijaykar, and today we're looking at the superstar who redefined the image of the Indian hero Amitabh Bachchan as the angry young man. What exactly is the angry young man persona? How did it come about? And what impact did it have on the Indian film industry? Let's dive into the fascinating journey of Amitabh Bachchan and his revolutionary character. The 60s were dominated by the magnetic charm of Rajesh Khanna. His romantic overtures and bright smile had made the nation swoon. But by the time the 1970s came around, discontent was palpable among the audience, and there was a growing demand for stories that reflected their frustrations and struggles. Zanjeer, directed by Prakash Mehra and written by the duo Salim Javed, hit the screen. Bachchan's character in the film was a departure from the conventional heroes of the time. Vijay, the protagonist, was not a charming lover or a dutiful son. He was a brooding, intense figure driven by a sense of justice and a deep-seated anger against the corrupt system. Zanjeer was a game changer. Amitabh's portrayal of Vijay resonated deeply with the masses. He was a hero who voiced their frustrations and fought against the injustices they faced every day. A large part of the credit for the creation of the angry young man persona should also go to the scriptwriter duo of Salim Javed. Many to this day believe that this creation is the perfect example of a writer and actor collaboration. The writers came up with a brilliant idea, and Amitabh Bachchan happened to be just the right actor at the right time and the right era to fit the role like a glove. The three of them together gave us some of the most memorable lines in Hindi cinema. ये पुलिस स्टेशन है, तुम्हारे बाप का घर नहीं है. मैं आज भी फेंके हुए पैसे नहीं उठाता. आज मेरे पास बंगला है, गाड़ी है, पैसा है. तुम्हारे पास क्या है? These are just some of the memorable lines. Why don't you tell us your favorite Amitabh Bachchan dialogue in the comments right now? Of course, dialogues and stories are one thing. What made this persona so impactful was a lot more. The angry young man was not just about anger. He embodied righteous indignation. There was an unsaid understanding that this character wasn't born with anger and resentment, but the corrupt system made him this way. The angry young man was not just a cinematic phenomenon. It was a reflection of the socio-political climate. The 70s and 80s saw a surge in youth unrest and protests against corruption and unemployment in India. Amitabh's characters provided a cathartic outlet for the audience, allowing them to experience the triumph of justice through his roles. The impact of this on the Indian film industry was profound. It led to a wave of films that focused on social issues, challenging the status quo and questioning authority. This era saw the rise of the masala film, a genre that combined action, drama, romance, and social commentary. Directors like Yash Chopra, Ramesh Sippy, and Manmohan Desai crafted memorable roles that showcased Amitabh Bachchan's versatility. But perhaps the director who utilized him the most in this era was Prakash Mehra. Apart from Yash Chopra's Diwar, Prakash Mehra's gems like Mukaddar Ka Sikandar, Lawaris, Sharabi, and Namak Halal will go down as some of Mr. Bachchan's best work. Beyond the screen, Amitabh Bachchan's persona influenced the cultural zeitgeist of India. It became a symbol of hope and resilience for millions. His hairstyle, fashion sense, and mannerisms were emulated by millions. However, the impact of the angry young man had its own challenges. By the late 1980s, the audience's tastes began to shift again. The intense, brooding hero started to give way to youngsters with a more stylish edge like Anil Kapoor, Jackie Shroff, and Govinda. Perhaps the final bow of the persona of the angry young man came with the 1983 film Coolie, which almost led to a tragedy. While shooting for a fight scene with actor Puneet Isar, Bachchan was badly injured as he took a punch to the stomach. He was rushed to the hospital and was in a critical condition for days. The nation held its breath, and people from across backgrounds and faiths were seen praying for the actor's health. With the help of doctors, Bachchan was back on his feet. So impactful was this incident that the ending of Coolie was modified so that Bachchan can be seen on the screen waving and thanking the millions of people who supported him. Amitabh Bachchan's angry young man persona was more than just a character. It was a cultural revolution. It redefined the hero in Indian cinema, giving voice to the voiceless. We see glimpses and echoes of this persona in cinema even today. In 2023, Shah Rukh Khan's Jawan saw him take on the injustices of a system and try to uproot them. In 2022, we saw ferocious Alia Bhatt and Gangubai Kathiawadi speak up for those who've been disenfranchised. It is clear that through his performances, Amitabh Bachchan not only entertained, but also inspired generations, leaving an indelible mark on the Indian film industry. You've been listening to A Century of Stories brought to you by IDFC FIRST Bank, always you first. I'm Kunal, and next time, I'll tell you a story of Tata Motors' brush with Ford. In today's edition of Safe Banking Tips from IDFC FIRST Bank, I'll tell you about ATM frauds, also known as skimming. Whenever you use an ATM, beware of any suspected object or device at the ATM machine, especially near the card slot or the keypad. It may be a device to copy your debit or credit card data or capture your PIN. If you also see any suspicious individual lurking around the ATM, do not use your card at that machine and notify the bank. And always complete your transaction before leaving an ATM.
IVF